Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie. This vlog is usually about raising myself while I'm raising my almost 4-year-old, but we talk about other things too. And today I'm just starting off a couple days in my life, so make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with my life, what I have going on, and whatever we're talking about. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and enjoy. You guys, I've been trying to start this vlog for like the past 6 days. I swear, it's just been too much going on in all directions of life. Like, I feel like obviously we're all going through it, but how much more it can we go through? Like, how much more? I mean, I'm asking myself daily, like, what the fuck? I don't know. I feel like I have a lot to talk about. I feel like I have a lot of things I want to say, but I'm like, when is the right time? I also want to talk a lot, but at the same time, I also want to shut up. Like, I don't know what's going on. I guess I'll start with what I'm doing today, which is really not much. I'm headed to a meeting right now that could possibly end in my first, well, one of two, because I have like kind of back to back. So my first possible social media management job. I haven't taken any of those, but I should, because I need them to be a little bit more stable. Like, doing the like one-off freelance contracts are great, but they're just not that steady, and them bills are steady though. So, you know, so you got to switch it up. And so I'm just trying to get more of the social media contracts. So that's what I'm trying to do today. And then I have another one meeting about that like next week. So we'll see how that pans out. Let's get into it. Why did my baby daddy move to North Carolina? Yeah. I don't know. It's just, let's go through the pros and cons of that situation. So, pros. I guess I can have moments away from Cadence without like having to pay a sitter, without, you know, like having to like vet somebody else, whatever else to be around her, blah, blah, blah. That's it. So, cons, you're in my space. Well, not in that sense, like, because he's definitely not moved in with me and will not ever, like, of all 50 states, because it kind of still feels a little abusive. Here he knows absolutely no one but me and his kid, right? So it's just like, if something is up, if something happens, like, it kind of insinuates that I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd have to step up for it, where it's like, none of me wants to be in charge of or worried about anything going on with this person. And then it also feels like it's a bit of hovering because of, like, whatever I want to do. Say I am going on a date or something like that or whatever, right? And it's like, he kind of has to be all in it because, you know, he's going to be the one with Cadence. So it's just a lot of weird maneuvering that's been giving me, like, major anxiety for real. And I don't know. If you move here and, like, your normal irrational behavior continues, like, what am I? And then, like, also my daughter knows that you're here, so, like, it's like, kind of, what am I gonna do? Yeah, I feel like we're gonna talk about that as a theme in this vlog, just like the weirdness around that, the boundaries I have to set around that, and what that means for me. I literally have PTSD, for real. I'm just gonna try to do other things this week too.
A little bit more on the mature side, so yes, obviously, like, fun colors, like the brand colors are colorful and stuff like that, but like black and white base, but then pops of color, and then
actually super productive. I caught the is this what I've looked like all day? Like, all right, so that was actually super productive. I got not only you know, the start of the content strategy for the what? Oh my god! All right, so that was really, really productive. Actually, it's 4:26. I think I've been there like the entire day, but that's good because I got the strategy started for them, and I got most of the strategy for myself done. So I did a lot of work for myself today, which I have put off. I actually haven't been on my Instagram for like 3 weeks. I just took a mental break at first, and then I was like, oh, okay, like just to see like when am I gonna jump back in. But then I realized, like, jump back in to say what, really? I feel like, you know, the way I want to use social media is only if it has a point. Otherwise, I could literally live in silence. I don't know if you guys feel that way. Like, let me know in the comments how you use social media, and do you feel like it even is a place to still like just share? I just feel like there's no friend community on there anymore, so it's not the same as like when we first got on Instagram, or like when we first got on Facebook, if you're that old, that like you would just post how your day is going, how your life is going, and people actually came on there to check, friend to friend, family to family, how you're doing. I feel like now it's like we're all posting for the masses, no matter what it is that you're doing. Like, even if it's like you're posting something from your kitchen or whatever, like you're posting for the masses. And so if it is what it is, right? Like, we can't really change that, whatever. And if you're trying to make a living on social media platforms, for me, when I post for the masses, I want it to matter somehow. And that, I don't know, it might trip me up a lot in how I interact with social media, because I just feel like if I have nothing to say, I'm gonna shut up. Whereas, like, I don't know, other people are maybe better at it. They have nothing to say, so they're just gonna say whatever, or say what other people are saying. I just feel like there's enough coffee Instagrams. Like, it's enough. And so I don't need to be doing the same thing. But I also am kind of stuck in like, what do I do? Because right now my page is all about, a lot about motherhood and healing, toxic relationships, and I guess from the perspective of my community, or people that follow me, that they get they like the transparency on there. But real shit, like, I feel like sharing that all the time not only keeps me in a place, like, it keeps me stuck in that constant having to like rehash, analyze, and share. It also keeps me feeling like not that I can't share anything else, because I don't really like super niche it down, but it just, I don't know, keeps me depressed. It keeps me a little bit like, oh my God, like, can I move forward in the fucking healing process? Like, can I move forward in like, all right, this happened for sure, but like, I want to talk about other things. There it is. I want to get to the next chapter. I feel like it's been one very long or consistent chapters of like, I'm still at the beginning. Like, I gave the epilogue and I'm still at freaking chapter 3, and I'm like, let's get to 13. Where does the character develop? This vlog, and I probably shouldn't push through. It's just been a really tough morning, because it just feels like every time I get to like the next level of something, it's just like another round of really hard happens. And it's one thing for really hard to happen when it's just you bring stuff to yourself, like regular life, life is hard for everybody. There are hard seasons for everybody, but it's like, I feel like right now my extra burden is like once again going through like the repercussions of having a narcissistic person in your life. I obviously have way better tools to deal with it. I obviously have like, you know, like a different mindset and whatever with it now, but it is still. And so like this morning I just felt like I was gonna wake up, I dropped Cadence off and like, you know, just like do my regular routine, just make sure, you know, everything's like clean, and so I can just like be in the house just fine. But it's just been a really hard morning. Like I feel like I'm just thrown right back into having to put up all these boundaries and be in like thinking about the boundaries 24/7, which is really draining. It's really draining to just not be able to just wake up and be free. You have to like make plans for the day to make sure someone doesn't fuck with you. Details of it is like this person is like moved here. At first it wasn't obvious that they weren't coming to actually, you know, be a parent to their kid, until they like came down, you know, and I wanted to discuss like what that's gonna look like and whatever, and it turned into just like this trying to force me to open my home up. Like, you're gonna move in with, not in the apartment that I paid for, secured, and do everything on my own in every month, but literally came and was like, yeah, like if you could just give me 3 months, like, and I wouldn't have to pay anything, like I'll be able to like, so, you know, pay down my debts and secure a little something, and then I could just, you know, be able to really like step in how I really want to. And you know, while I'm here, obviously, like I've been doing for the past couple of days, like I could definitely help you by making sure, like, you know, I handle everything like bedtime with Cadence, like after I get off of work, like so in exchange for free room and board with someone I literally do not like, have nothing in common with, and is disrespectful in hell, you thought the proper exchange was to be a parent, to do the things you had been was supposed to. My kid's about to be 4, and he was very dead ass. At the moment, I didn't say no. I was just like, let me think about it. You know, always give myself time. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you want to like give yourself time, because if I had said the no right there, he would have found every reason to like shame me for it or like bully me into something or whatever, and he was still in my space at the time. Let me think about it. He continues, accepts his job, whatever, and I can just tell the closer he's getting, the more he's getting like, you know, when he's noticing I'm not giving him an answer or leaning towards what he wants to hear from me, I can tell all those things he was, I won't be doing this, I won't be all those narcissistic by the book things that they do. Like, you can't ask them more than one question per day, or you know, they feel like you're encroaching on their privacy or whatever, just craziness, like things or whatever that they normally just started coming back up. And I'm like, yeah, not that I needed a reason, because I know who you are, like I know what my first name is, but it's gonna be a no. Like, no, I see no benefit in you moving in here, and you're just gonna have to do those things on your own. Oh, well, I thought this was a way to get my family back. No, sir, you thought this was a way to get free room and board. Stop playing. Fast forward to last night. This would be his 4th night here in Charlotte, I mean. And again, if I'm homeless, I'm going to be obsessed with taking care of my child who's under a warm roof. But because I put a boundary up, last night, you know, he's been able to come off of work. I opened my home up because I'm not letting my child go out anywhere else. Like, first of all, we're in the middle of winter. It was like storm. It's just whatever. All the reasons I have the right. My child is in her house. She's comfortable here. You come, you know, open it up to you. Come read night books. Do a little playtime. You know, I don't do playtime like that. So it's like, do whatever you need to do. Put her to bed. Get out. And doing that just fine. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday comes, usually when he's like on his way, he'll text like on the way. And he texted, he was just like, oh, I'll be there later tonight. I'm at the grocery store, so I'm kind of like I'm like usual. So I text back, I'm like usual or much later? And he wrote back, much. I said, why? He responds, I'm going to a store. You know what? Never mind. I'll come tomorrow, which will be Friday. When I tell you I'm in the middle of this cereal aisle, like, oh my God, not again. One thing that narcissists lack is creativity. they are not going to mess with you in a new way. They're not even going to use new sentences, new phrases, new words. It's the exact same BS every single time. I cannot tell you how much of my life I have wasted on that very same interaction. Him purposely being very vague about something because he knows that, like, first of all, no one communicates like that. No adults communicate like that, being vague, especially ones that share a child and therefore have shared expectations or should have shared expectations. So when I asked the why, he took that immediately as a, never mind, I'm gonna cancel. You're not canceling on me. You're canceling on something I said with your child. And that becomes a problem for me. His mental illness, like, he cannot help it. To literally throw chaos and to be disrespectful and to literally just be unnecessary constantly. But guess what? Like, I didn't leave an entire city overnight, move to a new one, create stability for myself and my child for this person to think they're gonna, like, it's a hell no, and it's really over my dead body. So now I feel like I have to sit back and, like, think of a plan to have, because he obviously can't willy-nilly, we cannot co-parent. People like that, you have to parallel parent, it's called, or whatever. You cannot co-parent. I can't give him an inch. He feels entitled to so much more. Or when you give him an inch, he'll be like, him and people with his affliction start to, oh yeah, she's dependent on me to act this way so that things are smooth when they go this way. But hold on, I need attention. So they'll remove themselves from something they've been doing just fine or showing you that they can do just fine or whatever, and then for no reason, like yesterday, switch it up on you. I remember one time I literally I have body aches. It wasn't the flu, I just got the COVID shot. Teacher, New York, it was very early during that time or whatever. I got the second COVID shot, and that thing took me out. He's at home doing nothing. He's at his own house doing nothing. You have no whatever. He was originally supposed to come get Cadence, didn't. For no other reason than he didn't feel like moving. I'm literally finding myself, like, begging him on the, like, please, like, I cannot get up. Like, I cannot care for her. Like, I need you to come get her. I ended up literally having to get up, get in a freaking Uber. I didn't want to move my car, New York, on the weekend. I had to get in an Uber and go drop my child at his door to force him to take care of her. But like I said, it will never get back to those things. And I just wanted to be, like, as transparent as possible. You can create stability. You can go forward in your healing. You can recognize what you recognize about people like this. You can get your life together. But it's still hard. This is just not the motherhood experience I ever saw. I find, like, some days it makes me, like, wish my kid was older, quicker, and that's not fair because I'm supposed to be cherishing her age now. She's never gonna be this little again. But for me, the longer she stays little, the longer I feel like I have to interact with this person. But I also have a kid who's, like, so weirdly attached. And it's not weird, you know what it is. It's, you know, and mostly, like, father-daughter relationships, the more these people, like, get in your life and get out, get in your life, you start to internalize that. So I'm sure you should see her. She, like, it's like she turns up who she is in front of him. And maybe I'm not a psychologist, but just my experience, I feel like when I did that for my dad, and so he wouldn't go anywhere, I'm the best I can be so he can always look at me, always be here with me or whatever. And then, but when they still leave, it's just kind of like you just put it on yourself. And now it's like, as a mom, I have to just really, and as a person before a mom, as a woman before a mom, I have to really look at my kid and just say, like, feel like, you know, that's always been the crux of his game, or like the point of his game. It's to play on my value of family. Like, I was always so pressed to create the family unit that I didn't grow up in. And so mess up, and he'd be like, no, I'm ready to be a family. I know what I need to do to be a family, or would do it for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, like, so you do know what to do. So you can participate in a family unit and have us gel and what, but then pulls it away the second I get a little too comfortable in it, you know? And it's just like, it's just not gonna happen. It hasn't happened in a little bit over a year. So I don't know what he thought, but y'all, I just feel like I can't like get on here and just, I'm making breakfast or when like, it's like this stuff is so heavy on my shoulders and it's really the actual day to day, you know, like it's the actual what's happening. So I hope I'm not oversharing, and these things live on the internet, you know, but it's just, it's what's present for me. It's what's at the top of everything. So, and maybe someone else hears this and they can relate, or maybe you're on the other side of this, because I don't always have the answers. Hey y'all, so I got myself together a little bit and I am actually headed out. Cadence is at home with my neighbor who graciously offered to babysit, and I'm actually gonna go see a movie all by myself. I love going to movies by myself, but this is Wakanda. I'm going to see, you know, Black Panther, whatever, Wakanda Forever 2, and I just keep hearing just how like really emotional this movie is. I'm sure it will, because even the preview had me a little bit shook. Like the original preview had me shook for sure. So I can't wait to see it. Just spend some like quality time by myself and just like recharge myself from earlier and what we were talking about. And I think, you know, of course, even though this is going to make me very emotional, it's just going to be for a different reason. And I know I'm going to enjoy myself. Like I already like you have to pre-pick your seats. I don't know if that's like a new thing. I don't remember always having to do that. Like when we all used to go to the movies, but I pre-picked my seat and I like already pre-ordered my food and my drinks. I'm gonna have a little drinky drink for sure. And yeah, like this should be really fun. I'm excited. I was telling you guys with everything earlier, I have to, you know, now make this effort to like create these boundaries, and I like sent a text tonight rather than tomorrow because I just don't want to have to focus on nothing tomorrow about that. I sent a text tonight just basically saying we're gonna put a little pause on visits until I come up with a plan. And so like that's how I found it best to deal with, you know, anytime like those types of behaviors like peak, where he starts to act differently because he's just trying to throw chaos into things or trying to control how things should happen. I just put a pause on things, give myself time to think, and give myself time to like create what the boundary is actually going to be and what the schedule is actually going to be, because we're not moving on someone's time who is incapable of managing time, and will purposely not manage time. So I sent that out, and then so tomorrow I feel like when I wake up, I'll only have to focus on breaking it to Cadence that she's not going to see him just for a little bit, you know? And I'm like going to make sure to be honest, but within the boundaries of what she can understand. So I haven't seen you guys since the movies. That was Friday. Today is Sunday. It was, what I see? Oh yeah, Wakanda. I mean, it's a little telling. I saw Wakanda 2. I know that's not what it's called. Something. But I don't know. It was a little bit. I'm a huge Marvel fan. Hugest Black Panther fan. Like, but for the length of the movie, for the plot of the movie, it was very mid. Like, there were 2 Haitian references, specifically like 2 parts of the movie that were filmed in Haiti, Cap Haitien or Cap Haitian. And they spoke like our native language, which were like actors who spoke the language, except for like 2 people. So that was kind of annoying. But then there was another part, end of the movie, a character is introduced named Toussaint. and or Toussaint in the movie, and that was really cool. That connection there was really cool as well. I thought they were going to do a little bit more with that because of the history of that name and just what was going on in the movie. Hope maybe if there's another movie, they'll, you know, end up being able to do something with that. That would be cool. But as for this movie itself, it was definitely a letdown for me. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. I don't know. I was ready to cry my eyes out. I was really ready to cry my eyes out, and I didn't even sniffle. I found myself giving one of these like a lot, like the memories, I guess, like, you know, when they would flash back to, obviously we know the original Black Panther. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, today I have a couple of things to do. I want to clean my makeup brushes. Like, Cadence has been using them, I've been using them. I want to get those clean because I actually want to start using them a bit more for my, like, look at this, gross. I want to start using them a bit more for more Instagram content. Like, I feel like, yes, I show up as myself a lot, but I need to get myself together for real, for real. I'm in that same vein I was just talking about earlier of like showing up a bit more ready to, I don't want to say I'm doing things for the male gaze, but like, let's get real. Sometimes, yeah, like I kind of need to get there because I just, otherwise, I am so anti male gaze. It's getting a little bit much. It's starting to feel like I'm using it as an excuse to never look like anything, and it's kind of ridiculous for real. And then because I also never have pictures of myself. Anytime like maybe I have like something to host or something to whatever, like something that needs my picture, I'm like, let me use this one ass picture I took of myself 2 years ago with blonde hair. Like, it's annoying. The bigger thing I need to do today, I chose to, and I can't remember if we talked about this before I saw the movie, but I need to send a schedule to Cadence's dad, and so to like reinforce like the parallel parenting. So I took a break from him being able to like see her Friday, Saturday, and then today as well. Just let's cool off from your actions, your repeated actions. And so the next step is to put in a schedule, because what I want is to decrease the amount of time that he's in my space, and like, you know, using it as I'm just seeing Cadence, shut up. And I need to just make rules around that. So this is going to take some thinking through today, just because I need to see what gives me the most time to, like, you know, like where I can utilize my time during the day, during the night, which works better. So I feel like really what I'm thinking is to give 3 days a week during the week, which would be the nighttime, so after he gets off work. And then on the weekends, I'll like alternate. So Saturday, I'll give him like the full day. So maybe like 10:30. Yeah, like 10:30 in the morning to like 3:30. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 10:30 to 3:30. Go outside, go have her, whatever. Like, I was just talking to my brother about it because I felt like, you know, it's gonna get cold. So what should I do? Like, I don't want to be like, okay, it's cold, so stay inside. He was like, there's plenty things to do. Like, go to the mall, go to a museum, go to the library. Yeah, absolutely. And they will be doing that. So anything to just stay out of the house, give me my peace of mind. You will be used the only way you can be used, which is that. And so the other reason I'm giving a schedule is to also keep things accountable. That's one thing that, you know, people with NPD cannot actually deal with. Like, they can't. So it's like he's put himself in this predicament that now needs a schedule, but they can't actually follow the schedule without somehow disrupting it. So I also have to be planned and ready for the schedule to not actually be followed. But the consequence of that for him is to literally have no contact, no access to my kid, which means no contact, no access to me. Because I'm not stupid. Like, I've already gone through this enough, and toolless before, and hopeless before, and crazy, and, you know, this like tornado they keep you in, and I'm just like, I'm not there, and over in my dead body will I return there. And so I'm just very ready to, like, you have a consequence. If you refuse to be responsible, it's not gonna harm me, and it's not gonna harm my kid. And that's probably the more like anxious, like annoying thing I have to do for the day, but I feel all right doing it. I literally just have to type it up. I have to text it, and then I also have to email it. Oh my God. Like, you just always do that. When you're dealing with them, always email. Make sure you leave a paper trail, not just via text where things could be deleted, where things would email it. And then if you have a friend like that, that you could also like make sure you're CCing, BCC, not CCing, BCCing, just so there's always a witness to what it is that you're doing. And I also always want to make sure that I'm giving him the opportunity to step up to do what needs to be done, you know, as long as it's like, it's doable, it's nothing that I'm asking him to take off work for. Like, it's all things that are like basic, and you weren't able to meet basic. So should something happen later on, I don't know, so if maybe your situation, if you have to go to court or whatever, like I have ample proof. You will have ample proof that you have given ample opportunity to be a parent. Hey guys, so it is Tuesday. I think the last time we spoke was Sunday. So much has gone down since, and like it's truly whatever. And by whatever I mean so sad and unnecessary. I'm using my Osea Ocean Eyes. It's supposed to just like depuff. I'm like not getting the best sleep. But other than that, so I was talking to you guys last about being able to, or not being able to, but not really having any anxiety about sending over the schedule. So it's supposed to be a visitation schedule. I was like obviously very liberal because I'm not trying to hoard responsibility. If you moved here, the pro is supposed to be that you know, are able to take her off my hands from me being with her 24/7. So why would I hoard responsibility in a schedule? I send the schedule over, and mind you, I'm very prepared for any backlash. I'm very prepared for just things that are patterns, things that have already happened over and over again. So I know that I'm giving a schedule, and I was, you know, and I'm prepared for whatever responses are coming to me. That's something else I learned in therapy, to always just have like the next step, like response is ready. So taking my time to send said response, but always like pre-planned, you know what I mean, for whichever way the person like decides to go. Definitely got a childish, stupid response. So instead of just, you know, so I sent the schedule over, this is what we're gonna do, this is what it is. His response was more focused on like feeling like he's being controlled. So don't tell me, you're not gonna dictate to me what to do, don't tell me what to do. You know, you want to always like try not to get back and forth into like emotional conversations with these people. So all I did was respond to the facts. This is the timeline, or this is the timetable available right now, so that you're able to maximize your time, and I'm able to maximize my time as well. Or I didn't even say mine, just make it focused on him. Other tactic, you know, this is the timeline and this is the timetable, so that you're able to maximize your time with Cadence, keeping it to the point, what this is for, focused on him, and that's that. Send him that. I'm thinking, all right, whatever. He took like a little bit to respond back, so I'm thinking it's done, but I'm not even waiting on responses at this point. Get another text back. Like I said, you need to be able to come to me to talk about these things. We should be able to sit down and confer before you put together a schedule. People like this, it's like the goalposts will continuously move. And so if you're trying to, you know, meet that, you never will. And that's what drives you partly insane. Because I could have literally been like, okay, yeah, you tell me which dates. He would have said Monday and Wednesday, I'll be here. Swear, Monday and Wednesday. Come next Monday, he wouldn't have been here. It would have been something. It's like, even if you give them the reins that they are begging for and swearing you never give them, you give them the reins, they drop it. They drop it before they even, it's like they're begging for something they don't actually want. They're begging for responsibility that they don't actually want, and they're hoping so bad that you don't give it to them, but they're not gonna go down quiet about it. So I'm not gonna let that happen. Like, again, you're not going to disrupt not only my peace and my stability, but you're damn sure not gonna disrupt my daughter's peace and stability. Like, that's my number one, like, that's why I'm here, if nothing else, to protect that child. And secondly, to protect me. I don't say anything because, like I said, I said what's to the point. So you're either gonna show up or you're not. And I would have counted that as third strike if he didn't show up. Then he says, and I'm about to get another job. That's 2 jobs. So this schedule wouldn't work. which is why you need to come to me before you make any decisions. So not only do you move to a new city where you only know your daughter here, you have one job, a full-time job, by the way, a full-on 9-to-5 salary paid job, good. But now you feel like you need to get a second overnight job. Let's really talk about why you have an overnight job. You probably just don't want to stay in your car all night. Like, okay. But it's insane to me because it's like, wasn't it supposed to be here to be spending more time with your kid? So now that you've got an overnight job, how are you going to do that? I wish I could up and get all the jobs that I want to and not have to be creative about it, but I have a kid to take care of. So it's like the responsibilities, the priorities are always so different and it's so visible. Not only that, but it's like you want me to come to you and discuss things before they are done as they affect cadence and your relationship, but you don't need to come to me and let me know that you are planning and or thought of and or already applied for a second job. Weird. Not happening. But again, they're short-sighted. They only want things done their way, their consideration. They will never give it back to you. And so I'm like, I didn't even, all these things I'm processing to myself, talking to my two girlfriends about it at the time, like, just again validating what I know to be reality. Like, this doesn't make sense, right? Like back me up. I know it doesn't make sense. Like, let's just process it out and talk it through just so I don't do that with him. So basically I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm really not about to go back and forth. This is literally crazy. This person is obviously not prioritizing cadence in any way. And therefore we don't need to deal with this. And I'm not going to deal with it ever, for never again, ever in my life. So I just basically wrote back kind of the notice of like finality. Like, you're done. You're done. Again, without any emotion, just basically just laying out, this is what I've done. This is the opportunity I've given. This is how many times you were given this opportunity. Literally within this conversation, you were not accepting nor willing to move forward. We're good. You're blocked. You're for real blocked. So that's really where it is. Like, that's really where it is. When I tell you over my dead body, will I be dragged back to what I had to claw my way out of? And it's just so clear that this person honestly thought that they were gonna corner me into invading my space for free, with no benefit to me. And when he found that I was not the same pushover, unaware, able to be easily manipulated, used girl, he forgot that he was originally selling me that he wanted to be here for his kid. He forgot. And that's okay. You know why it's okay? Because I am prepared this time. And so I feel really good about the way I handled things. I feel really good about not being flustered. I'm telling you, if had this happened at any point last year, up until even Christmas last year, oh my God, I would have been on the floor, guys. I would have been unable to pick myself up. I would have been in a frenzy all day, every day. Being even worse of a mom because I cannot take on her needs, my needs, disassociated, all of that. And that's not happening this time. And so I am so proud of myself. So, fix block the communication or everything or whatever. And I just sat down with her, icy in hand, a little bit of a distraction afterwards from emotions. And I just explained to her, plain language. I said, I have something tough to tell you. And I know you might not understand everything I'm saying right now, but whatever you are feeling, mommy's gonna be here. And I just told her, I said, right now, daddy is not making the best choices so that he can show up for you. And she kind of just was like, she kind of focused on good choices, best choices, because like we, bring that up a lot in the books that we're reading. It's a theme in like the book she's reading at school right now, good choices. So I purposely use that language. And she was like, oh, like, so he's not being kind, like he's not being nice. Again, she's pulling things from books that she read. And I'm like, yes, baby, like right now the choices are not choices that make you safe. And so mommy has decided that we can't see daddy right now. And so she's like immediately started welling up because, she's being denied something that she wants. And she just started welling up, but she's like, oh, but I miss daddy. Like, I really miss my daddy. I love my daddy. And like that has always broke my heart. hearing her say those things, like, not only am I hurting for my kid, but I hurt for myself immediately, because I am someone who has immense daddy issues. Immense daddy issues. And so I already see what my daughter is going to go through. Differently than me, though, because again, she has me. I did not have a me. I did not have a me as a mom, you know? But there are things I cannot protect her from. And number one being life. Number two being her father. You know, all I can do is always be ready to apologize loudly and every time she needs it. Because it doesn't take away from me to apologize for making a choice that ended up being her shortcoming. You know, like, I understand that I was duped and I didn't set out to be duped, but it still affected my daughter. It's still going to affect her life. You know, my part of it. Did I mess it up? Am I the one that turned out to be a crazy person and like a mentally ill person? No, but she's likely never going to get that comfort from over there. So I'm going to make sure to give her the comfort from my part, on my part, all the time. And for now, all I can do is really just, you know, she'll go up and down. I was surprised after we talked. I mean, I think she like cried for a little bit and then got distracted literally by a noise that the dryer was making, and then got her icy and was good. And so I'm just leading with that. I think that kids follow our urgency. They follow what mom or dad, if you're watching this and you're a single dad, you know, dealing with this, like, they follow our stability. Kids only need one stable parent, one lighthouse to guide them back to their emotional well-being. And I am so glad that I can be that for her, and it really shows. It really shows. And I don't have to discount her feelings, because they're toddlers. They live in the moment. At one minute, your kid could be the happiest kid ever. The next, they're acting like you did the worst freaking thing, right? And so tomorrow, maybe she might, you know, have a memory of him, think of him or something, and just be losing it, wanting to talk to whatever. And I will walk her through that. I'll, you know, not invalidate her feelings about it, but I'll remind her why we're not able to right now. And then we'll do something else. We'll distract, we'll get into something else. And it's got to be like that, unfortunately, until he figures it out, until he is able to show that he could be stable in a certain, you know, in a certain factor. He's never going to change. He's never going to really have like a turnaround, anything notable, and he's never going to be consistent. But what will change is that she will get older. And it's not that he'll be blocked until she gets older, but circumstances will end up changing. I think that's where I'm at with it right now, and I feel good about that. So I'm able to show up for myself. I'm able to show up for my daughter. And I feel like the best mom for doing that. And feeling like the best mom is weird, as it coincides with also a lot of pain and a lot of hurt and a lot of frustration. Yeah, being a parent is hard as hell, but being a single mom, god damn. And raising a child while you are still trying to raise yourself, god damn. Like, it is something, you know, it is really something. And thank God I can talk to you guys about it and process, and thank God for, you know, whatever other community I've formed. And just thank God for God.